content. This slideshow is on content branding and content marketing. Content is king, which is something you will read in any web design book or website, if they're good anyway. And what that means is that since Google Panda, content has become the most important part of your website, even in relation or especially in relation to SEO. And if you're interested in the ins and outs of how Google Panda changed the world, I think I have an article on it in the module, but otherwise you can kind of take my word for the fact that when Google went to Google Panda, which was some time ago now, they went from using keywords as the primary definer of what your website was about to the actual content as being the primary thing that defines what your website is about and how authoritative that website is. So content at that moment became the most important thing for SEO. Content is also king because, let's face it, why do people come to websites? It's because they're looking for information, and content is another word for that information. So we're going to talk about your content marketing plan, which is what you're producing, the content you're making, and how you're going to put it out there in the world. We're going to talk about it more specifically in relation to a blog in a later PowerPoint in this module, which is about making a blog, essentially a repository for content. But in this first PowerPoint, I wanted to kind of link the different types of content with the point of this class, which is storytelling. So here we see the content marketing matrix, which has been borrowed from First 10 and Smart Insights. And I really like this. It divides content marketing into 4 general areas: entertainment, inspirational, educational, and then convincing. And convincing is really selling, and we're going to move really quickly through that because this is not a class about selling. It's a class about the other 3, which involve storytelling. So not all of these 4 divisions contain stories or are stories. Not all of the little dots that indicate the types of content that you have are stories. I have some examples, right, about what can be a story, what is almost always a story. And we're going to go over the 4 categories. We're going to kind of jump over convince, as I said, because there's very little storytelling in convince. But I'm going to look at the other 3 and give you some examples of stories in that context. Convince, which is selling. It's product features, it's demos, it's ratings, and it's not much storytelling. And then we have educate, which is very rational content. So it's not about your emotions, it's about your sort of rational brain, right? And but it's not selling, it's about awareness. So you're speaking to me in a very logical way, but you're not selling to me. You're giving me information that I'm going to find useful, and you're mentioning, oh, by the way, it's coming from us, and aren't we really cool? But we're not specifically selling. So we have inspiration. And inspiration is high emotion, but it's also high purchase. That's as opposed to brand awareness, you're actually leading people to purchase the product. A common form of inspiration is celebrity endorsements. So emotional content, as if you notice from the graphic prior,
has high emotional resonance and is high awareness. And awareness is stacked against purchase. So we're talking about branding as opposed to selling. So when you're talking entertainment, it has emotional value, and it's all about branding or introducing or creating engagement, but not selling. And I have an example, which is on the next slide. And I think it's pretty funny. Almost all viral content, and this piece of content went viral, almost all viral content is considered to be entertainment.